Now, we live in an increasingly global world, meaning more couples are living abroad together. Across the EU, for example, 1 in 7 births is to a woman of foreign citizenship. But what happens when a relationship breaks down and one half wants to go home with the children? By law, they need permission from the ex-spouse. Without it, they risk being charged with child abduction if they remove the children from the country where the family used to live together. Well, with me is Anita Guerra, who works for charity Global Arc, a charity that supports stuck parents around the world. This concept of stuck parents, that is how you describe the situation that I know you're in yourself. Why are you bringing this up now? What do you hope to do in drawing attention to the situation?
Well, thank you, Philippa. A lot of stuck parents, and we define a stuck parent as a parent who is unable to return home with their child. So a lot of stuck parents are stuck because of an international law called the Hague Convention, and there's a meeting going on this week in The Hague, in the Netherlands, to talk about any amendments that can or should be made. And at Global Arc, our charity, we have a petition, and we have members in The Hague this week who will be presenting the petition and hoping that the states concerned will listen to some of our arguments.
So what is it about the state of the law now, about the Hague Convention, that worries you, that you think goes counter to the interests of a lot of parents?
Well, the Hague Convention affects any parent who is in a foreign country and wants to go to another country with their child. We try and help the stuck parents who are trying to get home, so we call them going home cases. It's usually the primary carer mother, although we help any stuck parent at all. And if they want to return after a relationship breakdown, they don't have to be married. That's not essential. Just 2 biological parents. If one parent wants to go home with the child and the other parent disagrees or doesn't give permission, they then have to apply to the local court for permission to relocate. That can cost thousands and take many years, which is not always possible for parents in a foreign country.
Anita, probably we should bring up the fact that you are stuck in this situation. You're British, your ex-husband is American.
Correct.
The children are in Arizona.
Yes.
How old are your children and when did you last see them?
They're not yet teenagers, Philippa, and I last saw them over 2 years ago. So that is a very difficult situation to deal with. It's devastating for me. I was a stay-at-home mum. Their father is a pilot and travels constantly. So they're looked after by, well, I'm not sure really at the moment.
So you've missed everything. You've missed their birthdays, you've missed holidays?
Yes. 3 birthdays, my son. 2 birthdays for my daughter so far, the next is coming up. I'm supposed to see them during school holidays, but unfortunately their father doesn't want to bring them to the United Kingdom. I can't afford to travel to America because it's not only the travel, it's also hotels, hire cars, entertaining them during the holidays, feeding them.
And so I suppose your advice to other parents or, couples embarking on family and adventure and living abroad together is, you, for example, wouldn't have thought about what happens if it breaks up and I come home.
No. And 85% of the parents who contact us say they had no idea before they started on this journey that they wouldn't be allowed to simply come home with their child, especially when they're primary carers.
And perhaps be accused of child abduction if they do, because that's the legal situation.
That's correct, that's right. And the Hague Convention is there for a good reason, to return a child to what's called its place of habitual residence very quickly, usually within 6 weeks. We're trying to ensure, first of all, safeguarding for parent and child if they're going back to an abusive situation. And unfortunately, most of the cases do have some allegations of abuse. All we're saying is that if there's an allegation, give enforceable orders of protection. It's not a judgment, it's just an additional protection. We'd also like to see relocation cases for coming home parents made simpler and easier. Instead of taking years and costing thousands, let's try and limit it to perhaps 6 months and offer means-tested legal aid. That would help so many parents.
Because it's children's lives at stake. Anita,
it is.
We have to leave it there. Thank you very much, though, for sharing your situation and your advice.
Thank you for raising awareness, Philippa.
All right. Thank you.